Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, April 22nd. It's 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple of things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks like we are good to go here. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link sent out. All right, so it looks like people are starting to join in. As people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. All right, going down to the 8 hour. Going down to the 4 hour. Going down to the 2 hour. Going down to the 1 hour. Going down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15 minute. Down to the 10 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, April 22nd. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. I've just marked up liquidity over here. And it looks like the closest levels of liquidity is going to be above over here at 38,449. There's another level right above it. And there's a lower level over here at 38,373. So there goes our first two levels of liquidity for today. Going over here to our clean chart, I'm going to mark up 630. I'm going to mark up 8 o'clock. Go up to the 4 hour time frame. Identify structure here. Here. Down here. I'm gonna leave this one alone because it's still pending. Go down the 1 hour. So I'll mark this one up here on the 1 hour. It's kind of small, but it's gonna do its job for here. All right. So we got this marked up here. I'm gonna go down to the 1 minute time frame. So this right here is going to be the 1 hour resistance level. We got another 1 hour resistance level up here. And 4 hours, the 4 hour support's like so far below, it's not going to get touched. So pretty much got that all marked up right there, guys. So good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, April 20, or sorry, today's Monday, April 22nd. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level above is going to be at 38,449. Closest level below is going to be at 38,373. Going over to our main chart over here, I don't believe there's news from today, but let me check the calendar real quick. There was some news at 5:30. That was pretty much it. And I think that's all for today. So we had news over here at 5:30, which is going to be right next to the sessions right here, which is perfect. And that's pretty much it. All right, so we got that marked up. Other than that, that's pretty much it for today. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently at 62% short. This indicates that 62% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. That's kind of what we're going to be looking for today. But we'll see what happens here when the market actually opens. So market's going to open up in about a minute. Once we have that, we'll mark up opening price, and then we'll go from there. ATR right now is currently at 10. So this is pretty much normal ATR for pre-market. We don't really have anything moving crazy pre-market today, so that's a good thing. We might have some sort of smoothness today, hopefully, but who knows? We'll see what happens when the market actually opens. Looks like market is about to open in about 30 seconds. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Maria. Morning, Jacob. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Sadie. Morning, everybody. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said feeler day for Monday. So we got market opening up in about 20 seconds. We'll see what happens here. ATR is at 10. So as you guys know, average ATR is around 15. So we want it to be around 15. Anything below that's a little too tricky because the volatility would be a little too low. So I think for the well, you guys already know, for the MPS and for the breakout V3 continuation, minimum of 15 ATR. And there we go, some crazy movement here on open. So market is now open. You guys can see the market here is kind of jumping around a bit. We'll color this blue. So we'll wait for the market to kind of stabilize a bit before we get into any positions here. So we got that right there. Price is pretty much spiking around. Looking over here at the PRB. PRB setting up for a sell over here once the trend's confirmed. Looking over here at the BV3, there's there's a double body, double wick right here, but it just got invalidated, so never mind. Take that back. All right, so just as we thought the market was going to be moving a little smoother, we get this crazy spike here on market open. So we'll sit tight for a little bit. Let this price here stabilize. Once it does, we'll start looking for some entries. Looks like that lower level of liquidity just got touched right there pre-market, and it's going to be pushing down even further. So we got that lower level of liquidity right there just got hit. Full TP right there for the first level of liquidity. Looks like Sadie over here caught it. Nice work, Sadie. All right, again, we're just waiting for the market here to stabilize a little bit. Because it is moving a bit crazy. Push right down to these sessions down below. Yeah, this thing's dumping. Check CNBC real quick. So CNBC actually just reported, it said the Dow futures popped 200 points as traders look to recover from last week's slide. And as soon as they reported that the Dow went up, the price went extremely down. So you guys can see the manipulation right here. This here could be setting up the breakout V3. Never mind, take it back. If this candle closes green, it'll be a double body. So if this candle here closes green, it'll be a double body for the breakout V3 over here. And this could set up for a possible buy entry. Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, I probably would be looking for a buy. So I'll just probably wait for this to swing back up. If it continues dropping, I'll look for a possible sell. But for the most part, I'd be more inclined to take buys here. So you got price kind of swinging up over here a little bit. Price is just sitting right at the sessions. This is an area of manipulation. So this isn't typically an area that you want to look to trade at, which is, I mean, obviously no surprise here. So if this drops lower, this lower low is going to be validated. And yeah, so that lower low just got invalidated. There's no longer a double body down below for the BB3. So again, guys, this is a time to just wait for the market to stabilize a bit. It's going to keep kind of spiking all over the place until it figures out where it wants to go. It's currently at the Asia high and the New York high. So there's a bunch of levels down here for session. So there's a Asia low, London high. I think the London high here is probably combined with the New York high. So not much here to work with. There's no PRB, there's no BB3, there's no entries here. The only entries here that have a hit were the liquidity, maybe this lower level liquidity down here as well. Hasn't touched yet, just touched right now. But that's pretty much it. There's no other entries here available. So we'll keep waiting for, I guess, price here to stabilize. The ATR is currently at 20. So it's picked up a little bit. Went from 10 to 13 to now 20. So it looks like this previous candle over here could have been a momentum divergence. As you guys can see, the divergence down below was bullish, went back to bearish right here on this previous candle. The only thing is that it was touching these sessions over here. So obviously not one that I would personally touch myself, but it looks like it did hit TP if anyone decided to take that entry there for a quick 10 points. So we do have the bearish bias though. So currently right now, the trend is currently bearish. You can see prices below the pivots. The pivots are angling down. They're all spread out. And you can see that the trend meter down below is red. So we currently have a bearish trend with regard to pivots. I'm with everything here, really. Pivots, divergence, trend, etc. But again, we just got to wait for this here to kind of stabilize a little bit. So that lower level of liquidity right there just got hit, full TP. So there's only two entries that have come up today so far. It was this first level of liquidity that got hit right here on the first candle after open. And then we have this lower one down here, both full TPs. We've got the clean chart over here. Once the clean chart establishes new levels, we'll mark it up. I think we have an upper level right here. Not yet, actually. I thought we were going to have one at this point, but it hasn't established a low yet. This low has been pushing lower and lower ever since market open. No breakout V3s, no PRBs. So the check. The wick rejection, like the first step for the PRB still hasn't come up yet. This candle over here wicked off the pivot, but the pivot had not established a bullish or sorry, a bearish trend yet. So step one for the PRB still hasn't come up. So the divergence, I think the divergence happened on this candle right here. Let's let this load real quick. Actually happened on this next one. So the divergence was confirmed on the second candle right here. I mean, I wouldn't take it because price is so overextended at this point. You guys can see the big dump right here. That's why I would admit I wouldn't really mess with it if it's pushed down this far. It's way overextended. Typically, I'll measure from the previous high, and this here has dropped about 150 points, which is equivalent to 1,500 pips. So that's a pretty big drop. I wait for the retracement, look for the continuation after that. So I'll be looking for price to retrace up a little bit, maybe come back down. But there's nothing here for me to take right now specifically. Yeah, it's way overextended. So Maddie mentioned that we could get an MPS entry. So it looks like it already got filled, yeah. So I don't know if anybody pulled into the MPS right here. It's just that it was way too overextended for me personally. It was right here at the 300 level. So we have price come down here. The bearish trend confirmed on this candle right here. This green candle was a retracement candle. The entry would have happened right here at the 300. It's just way too overextended for me. So I wouldn't have wanted to take it. This falls under my red flags. But the entry would have happened right here with the pending order. Right there. Yeah, it was just way too overextended for me. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Nick said waiting on the CB if that ends up being the case. Sadie said, I thought we're not taking the CB. You can still take the CB if you want, guys. I mean, you don't have to take what I'm taking. I'll take a CB if it looks good, but if it's overextended like this, I probably wouldn't take a CB. The thing is, the low hasn't been established yet, so I don't think we're going to get a CB anytime soon because there has to be a low that's established. These lows have been getting pushed down lower and lower for the past like 10, 15 minutes now. So in order for us to get a CB, this has to establish, it needs to climb up quite a bit before it comes back down. So yeah, no entries on my end right here. The only entry that came up was the MPS, also the levels from earlier for the liquidity. So there's some more levels of liquidity right here that got hit. A whole bunch. So another level right there. And another one down below. So a lot of entries here that have come up so far with regards to liquidity. But no official entries on my end. I'm just waiting for the market here to stabilize a little bit. Still kind of dropping a bit, so it's a little tricky. There's no PRV entry that's set up yet. I mean, price is overextended. It has to retrace up at some point. So I would be careful taking any sells here, guys, if anybody's looking to take any. There's only one actual entry that came up here, which was the MPS, which came up right here at the 300 mark on the regular scalps. There's only one that came up right here for regular scalps. Otherwise, nothing else has come up yet. There's no breakout V3s. There is no CB entries. There's just nothing here right now. I mean, there's possible momentum divergence entries, but I mean, I wouldn't mess with this. Actually, not yet. So there hasn't been a retracement yet. Yeah, Andrea said it's a falling knife at the moment. Exactly. So just be careful. Don't get caught in this. It looks like they're trying to lure in some more sellers. For me personally, I think they're luring some more sellers as price gets closer to these sessions right here. Price will probably consolidate, get manipulated back to the upside. So this whole area right here is an area of manipulation. So you want to be careful with this here. It's kind of tricky. Well, I mean, it's not kind of tricky. It's obvious how tricky it is whenever price gets near these horizontal lines. The Medusa said the 5-minute candle is crazy. Let's check. Yeah, the 5-minute candles are crazy. They've been dumping for a pretty long while here. Currently at the session, so let's see if this thing swings back up from this point. Probably will. Yeah, this thing's dumping pretty heavy. What they said here. So CNBC said S&P 500 rises to start the week. And as soon as they say that at 7:40, price just dumps even lower. So you want to be careful, guys, especially when CNBC is reporting something because they just said price is going up. Price is definitely not going up. This thing's dumped down heavily. They said that literally right here at 7:40. And when they said that, price came down another. So they reported it right here. And this thing dumped like another 50 points, 60 points. So be careful when CNBC is reporting stuff because this stuff is opposite of like what's actually happening. You can see the timestamp right there, 9:40. It's 9:43. So 3 minutes ago, they said price was climbing and it's been dropping for like the past 30 minutes. So I don't know what they're talking about. I think eventually it'll correct back up. Right now, it's definitely not. See, John said, aren't they trying to fill the gap of open after the weekend? Let's see. Well, I mean, it's been pushing up for like since Sunday. So, I mean, it's not really filling the gap, but it's, I guess, in the way that you're referring to it, I guess, sorta. Where's the current price right now? Just trying to see where the line's at. Let me zoom out because that's pretty far. It's still pretty far out. Where is it at? Right here. Yeah. So it's actually at that price right now. Um, well, this bullish push, I think, was just it was a continuation of what was happening last week, right? So price is actually right in between this area right now. Or I think it is. I don't know why the line's not showing up on my thing. It looks like it came down a little bit. It came back to where market opened, and then it didn't actually come down far, like because it opened from like way down here, right? Or it opened up here and it closed way down here. So I mean, we'll see if it comes back down and fills this area. But yeah, I guess your theory is proper. I just don't think that it was really a gap. I think what happened over the weekend was just that, there's an influx of orders that were coming in that didn't get filled from last week. And they kind of just pushed price up. It's just the flow of price movement. But nothing really happened over the weekend to cause like a huge gap like that. But yeah. So if it was to fill that, what you mentioned, John, it would be like down here a little further. So yeah, I guess you're kind of right with that right there. I just don't like I don't like thinking of things as a gap, right? If there's a gap, I would consider it if there was like I don't consider like the weekend market open and market closure as gaps. If there's like a big gap like during the day, like say for example, there's like some war event or some black swan event and price dumps like super heavy, then I would consider that a gap, right? If price ends up coming super far down, then that's gonna have to fill. But this big movement that happened from yesterday, or not, it was like the weekend. It was just orders getting filled. So. All right, so this looks like a BV3 for a buy, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. I'm not going to take this BV3 here because, as you guys know, it eats up too much of my margin. So I'm not going to take this here. If it does close, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it because I'm looking for the regular scalps that I typically take here. It's also against the trend, so it's not typically one that I would personally like to take. I like to trade with the trend. But if this here does close green, this is going to be a breakout V3 entry. You can see there's a double body rejection down here. Thanks, Akil, for mentioning that. And this right here, if it closes green, it's not looking like it, but if it does close green, this will be the breakout V3. So we got about 5 seconds left on this candle, and it's not. Well, we'll see. Yeah, no entry there. So it might be for a sell, actually. So we have another double body right here. The only problem is that it's in the middle of the sessions. So that's going to be a tricky area. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. Looks like price here might consolidate a little bit. This could start setting up for a breakout V3. Looking over here at our main chart, there's no CV entry or anything like that. Yeah, Keel said possible divergence entry right here. The problem is that it's right at the session, so I'm not going to take it. But if you guys are looking to take it, I guess I can mark it up for you guys. I just hate trading around the sessions right here. You guys can see how the manipulation happens around this point. Yeah, if this pushes below, so if we get a breakout V3 continuation below this point, then I'll probably take that. But if it happens like in between this area, definitely not. So we have the pending sell signal right here. The PRB is setting up. Actually, let me check. So price rejected right here. We had a space candle right here. So the PRB is actually running right now, guys. So this is actually the PRB. I mean, I'm not in the position, but I just noticed it right now because we had this candle right here reject off it. So we had this rejection, space candles right here. This candle was the final rejection for the PRB. So the PRB is actually running for a sell right here. If the breakout V3 comes up for a sell, this will probably be in confluence with the PRB because they're both going to be for sells. The only problem again here for me is that the price is right at the sessions, which is not really a good area to be trading in because the last thing you want to do is get into a position and then it gets manipulated as soon as you enter. So this whole area here is an area of manipulation right now. These previous candles over here already touched the session. So this, the manipulation could have already started at this point. So whenever the candles come down and touch these sessions, this becomes a tricky area because one of two things will typically happen, right? Price will come around this area, it'll probably consolidate a little bit, and eventually price is either going to break below it or it's going to break above it. So when you trade in this area here, it becomes really tricky because you don't really have an idea of where price is going to go. You have an idea that price can go in either direction. It can, break down to the bottom or break down to the top. But realistically, you don't have a real good grasp as to like where is price actually going to go. So I wouldn't mess with any trades around this point at the sessions until price actually pushes away. So if price pushes away and it climbs up here, then okay, I'll probably look for some trades up here. Or if price pushes down below here, then I'll probably look for some trades where I'll be more comfortable taking trades, down here. Because this whole area right here is an area of manipulation. So there's no sell signal up yet. Price is kind of just sitting around this area. Just like we mentioned, that's why we don't trade around these horizontal lines. If you guys look over here, and if I turn off the other indicators, you guys will see over here, whenever price gets near these horizontal lines, manipulation, right? Manipulation right there. Price gets around this point right here, manipulation right there, etc. Until price pushes away. Eventually it'll push away. But at this very moment, it's kind of just sitting there. So let me turn everything back on. So the PRB is still running right there. It's running in profit now. BV3 still hasn't come up yet. So actually there's not going to be a BV3 anymore. So I'll leave the range right here, but there's no BV3 that's available right now because the high lows have established new levels. So there's no longer a double body on either side. This could be a possible breakout V3 continuation, but I'm not going to take it because it's right at the sessions again. Yeah, Kill City. Yeah, sessions are super annoying. I agree. Super annoying, but they're annoying for a reason. It's good that we keep away from them because it gives you a heads up that, your trade might get manipulated around those areas. So yeah, other than that, let's see. Madhu's asking the double body wouldn't be considered a CV. Check. So which one are you talking about, Madhu? Are you talking about this one right here? So, or this one over here? Or actually this one. This is the one you're talking about, right? So this one over here would be a CB. Yeah, it would be because this candle here is smaller. This is a double body rejection. So this here would have been a CV, and it looks like it actually would have hit. The only problem is that it's right at the sessions and it's against the trend. So for me personally, I don't like taking CVs like that. You can take CVs in both directions, but for me personally, I like taking them in the direction of the trend. So yeah, this one over here, this double body would be a CV because this is smaller than this body. This one over here wouldn't because this one's bigger. And I think that's it. I don't really see anything else here. This could be another CV right here, actually. So if this candle here closes as a smaller green candle, this could be another CV for a buy. I wouldn't take it because it's right at the sessions. This candle right here is actually touching the sessions. So it's not really it's not a desirable entry. All right, so we got price just consolidating over here again a bit. We just gotta wait. There's nothing here really coming up. As you guys know, this is an area of manipulation, and this is why we don't trade. So here's a clear example of why I don't trade at the sessions. So you guys see how price is just going sideways? This is what you don't want to get caught in because you can see, for example, if you entered into the PRB, you're going to be stuck in this consolidation right here. And after this consolidation is going to be a breakout, right? The breakout's either going to be in your favor and it's going to come down really hard, or the breakout's going to be above and it's going to hit your stop loss. So you're basically flipping a coin. When you're trading around the sessions, you're trading at an area where price can really go either direction with you having no control over like what's going to happen next. So that's why I always recommend not to trade around these areas, and this is why it's considered a red flag for us. So it looks like there may be another CB entry right here setting up. Again, it's right at the session, so I'm not going to mess with it. Yeah, if this candle here closes small red or smaller than this green candle, this will technically be a CB entry. But again, I'm not going to take any trades around this area. I want price to push away a little bit further, either to the upside or to the downside. Doesn't matter which direction it pushes to. Just want price to push away from this area. So we got 20 seconds left. This candle looks like it might be bigger. So might not be a CB entry there, or I guess not, possibly. Got 10 seconds left on this candle. So this looks like a CB entry right there. I mean, I wouldn't take it again because it's at the sessions, but that's the setup that you'd be looking for. You look for like a double body, double wick, look for the smaller candle previous or following it. And this is kind of similar to it's similar to an engulfing candle, but the opposite. So instead of looking for the engulfing, you're looking for the opposite of the engulfing. But again, I wouldn't take it because of the sessions down here. And you guys can see how price is getting manipulated right here. If I turn off the indicators again, you guys can see over here how price just gets a little messy. And you can see exactly where it rejected directly off of. So the manipulation started happening down here when this candle rejected directly off this London high. And at this point, price kind of sat around for a bit. It rejected again directly right here off the Asia low. So you can see how this here is playing out. So it's going to sit tight, wait for this here to push up. If it pushes up higher, then that's fine. We could possibly look for, an entry a bit higher. Looks like there was a momentum divergence right here, actually, off this candle. But it's against the trend, so obviously I'd sit out of it. But you can see how the divergence was bullish here. It went bearish and then went bullish again right here. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing pushes up a little bit higher in order for it to hit its TP. But I wouldn't go against the trend. Even though I personally would look for a buy here. So the reason why I'm looking for a buy, or why I take that back. Looking over here at retail sentiment, I don't know if you guys have looked at it. It changed quite a bit. So the retail sentiment here has actually shifted a lot. It was at 63% earlier, so I would have been looking for a buy, but now it's at 56, so it's pretty much neutral. I didn't realize it changed so much within, that's pretty crazy. I haven't seen it change this much like that quickly since like COVID time. Because it was 63 when I first looked at it this morning, and now it's at 56. So it seems like a lot of the short sellers pretty much sold off. So a lot of the retail traders who are on the sell side, looks like when price jumped down right here, they just sold off of all of their positions. But I've never seen well, I wouldn't say never. I just haven't seen a drop like that within such a short period. You usually see these drop like over like days. But this thing dropped almost 10 percentage points within a couple minutes. It's no other news for today. See update from CNBC. It says S&P rises to start the week. So they're still reporting that it's rising. It might be rising now, but they've been updating this for the past couple of minutes. Not really much of an update here. So if they're reporting that, then I'd probably look for a sell here. So I think price will keep dropping further. All right, still no entries here. Still waiting for this here to come back down. See if there's anything else here for us to look at. I mean, there's nothing here for us to take here. So we will continue waiting. So there might be a breakout V3 continuation coming up. Let's see how far are we from the sessions down here. I mean, it's kind of tight. I don't think we'll have an entry here for a breakout V3 continuation. Because even if it does close below, it's going to be too close to the sessions down here. We would need it to kind of push up a little bit. Yeah, so the divergence over here pushed up. Looks like it's still probably running. Let's see, Sadie said ATR a bit low. So ATR is currently at 18 right now. So it's where it should be. So during normal market conditions, the ATR should be around like 15, like between 15 and 20. So this right here is like what we would consider normal market conditions. Anything below 15 is going to be a little low. So you can see right here, it's kind of picking up, but it's also dropping a little bit. It went from 19 to 17, now back to 18. It's kind of like, and it's where it should be. Anything below 15 is just a little too low. So I'm actually okay with it pushing up a little more because I need some space here. So I'm looking for price, maybe push up a little bit. And then if it decides to come back down, that's fine from here because we need that space between here and the session. It's still a little too close, but if it starts to push up a little bit, maybe reject off the pivot level 4 up here, then we might have some opportunity for a correction back down. So here's a clean chart. We have the lower lows marked up over here. So I'll mark this up real quick. So we have the 1 minute support level down here. Our resistance. Once we get a resistance up here for the 1 minute, I'll mark it up. It's not established yet. You can see this higher high is currently pending. Looks like it might be rejecting off the pivot level 4. Almost. Yeah, so that's kind of what we were looking for. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to reject off one of the pivots up here, either level 4 or level 3. Looks like price might climb up a little bit higher, reject off that point, and come back down. Or not. All right, so the ATR is starting to drop down a little bit. It's down back down to 17. This would be a V1 pattern here, double body rejection. So this here, this here could establish a ceiling, and if it does, this could start setting up for a breakout V3 to the sell side. Again, the main problem here is that it's going to be kind of close to the session. So if we're going to go in for a breakout V3 continuation or even a breakout V3, kind of want it to happen away from the sessions down here. It's about 40 points away, so there's still space, but yeah, it's still about 40 points away. So if we get a sell signal here, this could set up for a pivot scalp as well. Pivot scalp, and then the divergence is actually bearish. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities that are setting up here. It's just we need that sell signal. It's the main thing. If price pushes up higher, I'm fine with that too. I would like it to push up, reject off the pivot level 4, and then come back down harder. The higher the better, because we have the space over here for us to take the trade. There we go. As price pushes up higher. All right, so we're getting another double body right here. This could be a possible CV entry. So it looks like it could be a double body and a double wick. Never mind, take that back. Still a double body though. Yeah, Maddie said he'd like it to push up to the sessions and come back down. Personally, I think that'd probably be best case scenario, right? I'd like to push up to this point up here, reject off there, and come right back down. Because it's already pushed past the pivot, so it's kind of done with that area there. So again, this could be a possible CV entry if anybody's looking to take it. I'm not going to take the CV entry. I'm going to wait for a better confirmation. Yeah, I'm waiting for that confirmation. I'm kind of looking for what Maddie's looking for as well. I'm looking for price to push up, reject off the pivot here, or not the pivot, reject off the sessions, and then come back down for here. Or if not, I mean, if price links to the upside, that's fine too. We'll start looking for some buys. Like we can trade it up here if we need to. Kind of a boring Monday today. But like we said earlier, guys, Mondays are feeler days. So you guys can see how the market's currently moving right now. Once we have a high established, I mean, you can see over here that price is actually in a very huge range. So this is fine. I don't mind the huge range because we can trade within the huge range. I personally, I like the huge range better than the consolidation. So it looks like it's setting up for a huge range here. Yeah, Nick said the daily candle is a bit iffy. Maddie said the 5-minute candle is pending for a buy. Pending buy signal there. So the 5 minutes actually rejecting off the pivot level 4. So this is another strong confluence. You can see over here on the 5 minutes rejecting off the pivot. Check the 10-minute. 10 minutes also rejecting off the pivot. So price might be coming back down further. So it's rejecting off the pivot on the 10-minute. It's also rejecting off the pivot on the 5-minute. Price looks like it's coming back down. This looks like a V1 variation pattern, possibly another CB. CB after CB, so double CBs right here. It looks like price might be coming down. it's consolidating right here. So it's consolidating right here, but if you look on the 5 minute and 10 minute, it's still rejecting off the pivot. So this candle doesn't close for like another 3 minutes, and the 10 minute also doesn't close for another 3 minutes either. So I mean, it's got some time. It's not like ready to come down yet. So as you guys can see here, it is just consolidating sideways. But again, here it's rejecting off. I think as we get closer to 710, it's going to be a better signal for us. So closer to 710, look for the price to come back down further. Because I do think price will come back down. I don't think price will correct back up. I think price is probably going to come back down further. So if you get a nice strong sell signal, I think that'd be probably a pretty good entry for a pivot scalp, if anybody's looking for a pivot scalp. And it's one that I would probably take too. So if we get price to drop down a little further, like from this point down to here, like say if the candle pushes past this consolidation. So if we get a sell signal that closes like a little farther down to this point, then that's something that I'd be interested in taking. A pivot scalp, or if I want to wait for the confirmation, I can also wait for the breakout V3 continuation to follow it. So we're at the 708 candle. Let's go back to the 5 minute. So it's not rejecting off it anymore. It's going to be a little tricky. So if it doesn't reject off it, it's probably not going to meet it with the confluence. 10 minute over here is not touching it anymore either. So we'll see what happens here. I highly doubt it will come down at this point unless it rejects off the sessions. So this is like our last line of rejection here. If this doesn't reject off the sessions, then this is probably going to continue climbing up a bit higher, maybe climb back up to opening price. The main target, if it does correct back up, is opening price, of course, as you guys know. It's back to open. So we are getting that rejection directly off the sessions right here. Yep. It's given what we were looking for. So there you go, Maddie. It's rejecting off the sessions. So if it drops down further, it'll probably provide a sell signal. This will probably correct back down from where it's currently at. All right, we got the rejection right there. Yeah, Maddie said he wants a sell signal with cross and close below the pivots. Yeah, same here. Ideally, that's kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, so I don't really have a direction here, guys. The trend is starting to shift. If that's the case, I mean, it's fine. We can probably start looking for some buys here. Maybe price will climb up a little bit before we get a little too far into the session. It's just not even a good area to trade in because we have the sessions right here. And then when price pushes up, we have sessions and news price right here. So, I mean, realistically, I would need price to push up a bit higher. I don't think we're going to be able to trade within this area right here. I think this area is too tight. The next area to be trading in would be above it, which is fine. There's no red flags up here. So currently there's no trend, as you guys can see over here. There's currently no trend. You can see the pivots are starting to cross over. You'd have to wait for the pivots here to confirm before you can start looking for any entries. So no buy entries until all the pivots cross above the level 4 pivot right here, and no sell entries until all of the pivots cross below the level 4 pivot right here. So depending on where price is at, that'll determine the direction. Yeah, Medusa, the divergence is fighting to stay bullish. Exactly. So it's staying bullish right here. Staying bullish as price continues to climb up a little bit. So we're getting some retracement right here. There's no confirmation of trend yet, so I'm not really looking for any entries, like I said. I'm waiting for the confirmation here to confirm. Once we have the confirmation, I'll look for some entries. Yeah, Maddie also mentioned that the sell signal hasn't printed in a minute. It's been a while. I mean, that sell signal was pending for a while, right? It came down over here. It kind of came up for a little bit, disappeared, came up again over here, it disappeared. So this market kind of sucks for a Monday. I was hoping it'd be kind of a smooth Monday or like an easy Monday for us, at least for like a couple of entries in the beginning. So like typically on Mondays, I usually hope for there to be at least like one or two good entries, like that are smooth entries before the market starts to go crazy like this. But I mean, obviously not every week's going to be the same. All right. Like last week was pretty smooth. We had a couple entries that came up before the market started kind of ranging a bit. But for today, I mean, so there's a couple things here that to look at. Like there's no high that's really established yet. I mean, this might be the high, but it hasn't really confirmed yet. So looking over here on our clean chart, you can see that I'm trying to establish the range. Like the range here has not been established yet. This might be the high here. Looks like price is finally coming back down. So there was another CB entry right there, guys. If you guys noticed, there was a double body rejection. This following candle right here was a smaller candle than the initial one. So this here was another CB setup. This one actually finally started to come down. But the good thing with these CB setups and these reversal patterns is that you can use them to identify ceilings like tops and bottoms. So we identified the bottom over here when we figured out this CB entry came up, and a bunch of fake outs came up over here. But when the actual CB entry came up right here, you can see that it's now coming back down. So I think this might be the range, which is a good thing because we kind of needed that. So 1 minute resistance level right there. All right, so we have the range that's now drawn up. Looks like we might be looking for some sells again here. So this right here, the trend isn't really confirmed, but this could be a possible entry for a pivot scalp. I mean, there's no real trend here yet, so it's probably something I would hold off on. I probably look for maybe the breakout V3 continuation to come up, but you can see that the trend is starting to shift a little bit. So divergence right here is coming back down with the sell. If this, we need some sort of, I'm okay with the sell signal not closing yet, and it looks like it's not going to close anyways, because I want the pivots here to shift as well. So it's an invalid sell signal, or possibly, no. All right, the volatility here is pretty low, or it's starting to die down a little bit. All right, you guys can see how these candles are kind of tricky. They're like coming up, disappearing, coming up, disappearing. Yeah, Maddie said he's waiting for the BB3 to set up. Same here. I don't think I would take the pivot. I wouldn't take the pivot scalp with the momentum because these candles here are too tricky. I'd wait for the following because it's a lot easier to follow BB3 versus the momentum at this point. Because you can see how it kind of shows up, disappears, shows up, disappears. So if you guys want to take this pivot scalp, just wait for that candle to close. It's really hard to tell because the candle is moving every couple seconds. No sell signal there. That's a little tricky. All right. So we got the sell signal again pending here. Again, like I said, I'll probably wait for the breakout V3 continuation to come up. Because this here is it's tricky. We need it to drop down below the pivots. But it looks like price is now within the range. So it's kind of safe to say that price is now within this range. This is the range that price is moving within. So a sell entry doesn't seem so bad here. If price decides to come back down further to the lower level. All right, so we have a sell signal right here. I mean, I wouldn't take this as a pivot scalp. There's no trend, plus this candle here was invalid because there's no red candle within it. I don't even think I would take this breakout V3 here. What are you thinking, Matty? Yeah, I'm gonna sit out on it too. There's no trend. There's like, so what I would look for here personally is I would look for momentum divergence. I'm not gonna look. I'm probably not gonna take this here. Well, I'm definitely not gonna take this here. This is a possible breakout V3 continuation. Typically, you will want this candle to be red though. It's invalid, so I probably like I'll just watch it. I'll use this as a confluence. So when we do see the divergence later on today, I'll probably hop into that. Yeah, it's not looking good. So we got the pivots over here starting to shift a little bit. There we go. So if you guys took it full TP, I mean, obviously I didn't take it, so it's not going to count. The only trades that count are the ones that I take. So I personally, this is what I kind of want to see. I want to see price come down a little bit, maybe retrace a little bit, and then come back down for confirmation. Yeah, Maddie said he might get an MPS. That's right. You might get an MPS. I'll leave these lines up here just in case we get an MPS. I mean, price would have to drop down a little further. It's a little too close here. And this market is a lot of consolidation here. There goes another buy signal. I mean, price might continue to shift back up. Who knows? It's kind of hard to tell here now. I can't even tell which direction price is going to go in. So let's go over here to the clean chart again. There's no breakout V3s. Oh, there's possibly one setting up here. There's a double body that just came up off that green candle. So there's actually a BD3 that's currently running right now, guys. The actual breakout V3 is actually running because we had the double body rejection right here. We had a sell signal, red candle follow it. So this is actually the breakout V3 that's currently running right now. PRB didn't hit earlier. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I mean, if this is the case and I mean, price might continue dropping. Okay, so we have the divergence here, which has retraced. Looks like possibly. It's not a clean retracement, but all right, so this candle here closes. I mean, it's got to be a pretty big red candle. This will be a divergence entry, but it's going to have to like really, it might not even happen on this first candle, it might happen on the next one. But if that's the case, it's going to line up with the breakout V3 that's currently running right here. All right, if this candle here closes red, this is going to be a divergence. I think I'll take this one here because it's in line with the breakout V3. As long as the candle doesn't close too big. So 1, 3, 2, 1, entry. This looks like I got in right there. I'm watching it right here. All right, full TP. Now, quick little move right there, guys, for the momentum divergence. Anybody got it with me? Looks like I got hit with some slippage. It's okay.
Order filled.
Man, this thing is laggy. I don't know what's up with this. It's all good though. So I got in and out pretty quick. I did get hit with some slippage because this thing just spiked super crazy. And nice. All right, so there we go. Momentum divergence right there. Just a quick little scalp entry. Let me mark this up right here. And the breakout V3 is still currently running right now. So this is what I mean about using the confluences, guys. So like right here, I was already looking for the momentum divergence. The reason why I was comfortable with taking it was because we had the breakout V3 here that was already running and full TP with the breakout V3. So if you guys took any entries here, both of them hit either if you took the breakout V3 or the momentum divergence. Typically, I wouldn't take the momentum divergence by itself, but I looked over here at the BB3, I saw that it was running, and then it gave me that confidence that, okay, this trade is probably going to keep dropping because we already have a trade that's running for a sell. If we get another sell here, it's probably going to push right through. And yeah, got out of it. Some slippage, but it's okay. I locked in 640. I was supposed to lock in 1,000, but can't complain about that. I'm cool with that for now. Especially with this market, the volatility is kind of just like all over the place. There's no drawdown here, so it played out perfect. Like it literally, as soon as I got in, it filled and then it went straight through. And you guys saw the line right there too. I forgot that I had my trade update logged in here so you guys can see it. So the execution is actually a lot better today. If you guys remember the execution from Friday, it was kind of laggy, but today it's actually moving a lot better. So right here, momentum divergence for a full TP. And if you guys held on to it, it came back down further right here. So, I mean, either way would have hit your TP eventually if you just held on to it for a little bit. Or if you pulled out, you could have pulled out for partial. So there goes the first official entry for today. There's a lot of entries that came up today, but I only took one. So this is the only one that's going to count. I only took this entry for today. There was two, or there's a lot of liquidity pushes here that came up. So there's a bunch of liquidity here that came up. Pretty much every liquidity that I marked up this morning hit. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liquidity entries here that hit full TP. Breakout V3 over here that hit full TP for 25 points. The PRB here did not hit. We had an MPS that happened earlier this morning. And then we had the entry right here for the momentum divergence that came up. So those are my entries so far. I mean, we'll see if we can find another one. It's getting close to like 7:30, so volatility might die down a bit. There might be an MPS over here. Possible MPS that's setting up right here. It's a little tricky with how price is currently moving. I'm not going to take this one here because it's going to be too close. I hate when it closes like right off the line. So I'm probably going to sit out on this one, guys. I don't like MPSs when they close right at the line. And it's kind of pulling back a little too far. So actually there might not be an MPS here. Or it might be at this line right here. Yeah, it's too close to the line. So I personally am going to hold off on it. We have a pending buy signal right there too. So another reason for me not to want to take the trade there. Rashida said one more, she missed it. I know this thing came up pretty quick. We'll see. I mean, another momentum divergence can come up, guys. You guys are looking over here at the divergence down below. It's currently in retracement. So if it comes back down, there might be another opportunity there. All right, Kill. Yeah, Kill said, good job, everyone. Done for the day. See you tomorrow. We'll see you back here tomorrow then. Kenneth as well. So Kenneth says, same here, done for the day. See y'all tomorrow. All right, Kenneth and Akil, we'll see you guys here tomorrow morning. Nice, guys. A lot of you guys here did take it. So here are my profits so far. Let me just post my profits up real quick. Where is my Discord? There's no entries here yet. We'll keep looking. It's 7:26 right now, so it's getting closer to 7:40. As you guys know, 7:40 is typically my cutoff time for trading. So I will I mean, I'll keep looking, but I'm not going to force anything here, of course. Where are my screenshots? There we go. All right. So You have a possible sell signal right here. I don't think we'll have the divergence part of it though, because you can see over here that it's still bullish. So I'm not sure if it'll line up, but we'll see. I mean, we might be able to hop into another momentum divergence, if we get that sell signal. So here are my profits so far, guys. I locked in at 330 on my personal account, locked in 640 on my main account. Pretty much on all the accounts, I locked in 640. I was supposed to lock in 1,000, but I got 640, which is fine. I'm not, it is what it is. This is the problem with trading with a very liquid market, very liquid, very volatile market that you're going to get kind of cut short sometimes, but it's okay. Profit's profit for me, especially with these smaller scalps. It's not exactly it's not the time to get greedy, as you guys know. I think greed is everyone's worst enemy, right? When it hits TP, you got to pull out. Can't get greedy. Hits TP, you just got to get out of that trade. So if this here closes with a sell signal, guys, this could be a possible pivot scalp, and it'll line up with a divergence confirmation. The only problem with this here that I don't like is that you guys can see how these candles are moving too fast. So the last thing you want to do is enter a position, and then it kind of disappears at the last second, right? So I personally wouldn't take this as a pivot scalp because it's not a smooth candle. I'd probably wait for the divergence to confirm after. So I personally would wait for the divergence. I mean, this could be a triple confluence like Maddie mentioned, but it looks like it's not going to because these candles here are very blocky. So you can see how these candles are kind of bouncing back and up and down. They're a little too blocky for me here. It's not really one that I would mess with. All right, so let's take a look at the team profits. So we got Kenneth over here. Kenneth locked in a total profit, let's see, about 1,000 per account. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 accounts. So Kenneth locked in a total of about 6,000 for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. We have Andreas over here with a total profit of 500 for the day. He took that trade with us right there. Nice work, Andreas. We got Madhu here locked in 100 for the day. Nice work, Madhu. We got Maddie over here posting his profits as well. See, there's no sell signal that came up. Again, we're just going to sit tight, wait, not kind of like force anything here. Just want to be patient with these entries. I'll just add up my profits over here as well. So my profits for the day, 640 times 20 plus 330. So I locked in 13,130 off that one trade for the day. So plus 13,130 for the day. And same thing, plus 13,130 for the week. So those are my profits so far. Nothing crazy, but it's a nice way to get your feet wet for the week, right? I think starting off your trading week with a green day, with positive profits in general. If you start off your week with profits, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the week. So Monday should be like your most important day to be careful with entries. Because today is going to set your personality, right? If you lose today, you're going to feel down the entire week. I can guarantee that. You guys know exactly what I mean by that. If you guys lose today, you're going to feel kind of like your confidence isn't going to be up where it should be, and you're going to be scared trading all week. If you win on Monday, then your confidence is up, and you're going to be more inclined to take risks, especially if the week starts to move a bit smoother. The good thing about this here is that we've identified that market is going to be ranging for this week. So today, Monday being the feeler day, you can see that we have price kind of bounce off the support down here, bounce off the resistance, and now it is respecting the range. So we know that this is probably going to be a rangy week. There's probably not going to be much direction. But the good thing about these ranges is that we can trade within the range, right? So there's a pivot scalp that just came up right here, guys. I just noticed it as soon as the candle closed. It is in bearish divergence, not one that I would personally take myself, but this is a possible entry here. If this candle here closes red, this could be a possible breakout V3 continuation. Again, I just don't really feel comfortable with the way these candles are moving. So you can see how these candles are kind of blocky. Like for example, I didn't see this here close with a red sell signal until it actually closed. So for me personally, I think I'm going to sit out. If you guys want to keep taking trades, feel free to take them at your own risk. But sometimes I go with intuition, and I don't know, a lot of you guys go off intuition too. If you guys don't feel comfortable trading in a certain market, you just sit out. Right here, I don't feel comfortable because if you look at these candles here, they're not moving very smoothly. So you can see how this candle here was red earlier and it spiked all the way up here. And same with this candle right here. Not moving smooth at all. So there's no other entries here. This candle did not close red, so there's no breakout V3 continuation. But again, like I said, it's good that we're currently within a range, so we know how price is moving. Right now, price is looking like it's in consolidation now. So this is why I stopped trading around a certain time, which is typically around 7:30, 7:40, because you can see how price is now starting to consolidate right here, right? We have the big range, but then we also have the consolidation right here. You don't really want to trade in a consolidating market because it's basically a breeding ground for fake outs. So I'll take it off. We're still within the big range. I don't think there's a lower low there. Actually, there is. I'll leave this here. So there is a lower low right there. Support level right there. And you guys can see from the divergence here, it's not really looking good. You can see how they're crossing over, but they're like really tight. That means there's no direction. So another confluence there to show you, or another red flag there to show you, like, hey, you should probably just chill out for a bit until like the market starts to move, because there's just no movement here. Consolidating within this area, you're getting a lot of opposite signals for a buy and a sell. There's a bearish trend here, but there's just no bearish movement. All right, so let's see if there's more here to cover. So we've got some more team profits here. We got Maddie over here. He had an accidental loss with the first entry for the momentum divergence. He got back in, recouped that loss. And Maddie's currently at about a couple $100 for profit. Nice work, Maddie. Nice recovery there. We have Natasha here, total profit of 394 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. We got Casey over here. Casey locked in a total profit of 488. Took that same trade we took earlier. Nice work, Casey. We got Jeff here. Jeff said there's some slippage. He got out but managed to recover a bit. So nice work right there with the recovery, Jeff. I know it kind of sucks. That's what happened with Maddie as well. He didn't get out where he was supposed to. But good thing here that you're still in profit for the day overall. I think that's the key thing. So had a small slippage incident right there. Had a profit of 600. So he's still in profit a couple $100. Nice work, Jeff. And then we have Nikki over here. Locked in about 800 for the day. Great work, Nikki. All right, guys, so great profit so far. It's 7:34 right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop into the chat. We'll keep looking for some possible opportunities here, but as you guys can see, it's not really looking like we're going to get anything here. It's just going sideways. This is why I stopped trading on a certain time, because last thing you want to do is get into a position, and then it kind of just bounces back and forth. Eventually, it'll either push in a direction or it'll push away, but you'll be super stressed out waiting for that to happen. So let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Question from. See what Nick sent us over here. The Deadpool trailer. Nice. Yeah, I'll watch this after the live. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. Haven't seen Deadpool in a while. Surprised you're making another one. It's always interesting. I think Deadpool is probably one of the most interesting. That's like one of the Marvel movies that I'll actually watch. Or Marvel, not maybe not Marvel. I forget what studio that's from. But yeah, take a look at that after, Nick. But yeah, guys, if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As you guys can see, there's not really much going on here. Price is just going back and forth. My cutoff is DC. Yeah, that's what it was. Thanks, Sean. DC, not Marvel. Marvel kind of fell off, right? There's not even much. I don't even think. Oh, Deadpool is Marvel. Okay, that's what I thought. I just don't think they make. It is okay. Gotcha. I knew it had to be Marvel because they're run by the same umbrella. All right, so we have a possible opportunity here for a momentum divergence. So it just closed right here, guys. I don't know if anybody took it, but it just closed right here. I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to watch it. You guys can see over here, it's super messy with how price is moving. So the last thing I want to do is get caught in this little ranging movement here. But this was a momentum divergence type entry. We had a sell signal here, divergence retraced, and then it came back down. This will probably hit. It's probably going to take a long time, but eventually it's probably going to hit. It's probably going to keep bouncing back and forth, but I'm going to take this off so you guys don't think I'm in the position. And Jonathan said he was off. Jonathan was like so confident with his response too. He said DC. And then everyone's like, nah, bro, it's Marvel. Yeah, Nick said DC made his first appearance as an X-Men comic book mutant, just like Wolverine. Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's what I kind of figured. All right, so not looking like we're gonna get anything here, guys. It's getting close to 7:40, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, it looks like you guys posted some pretty good profits for the day. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, if you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you here tomorrow. As you guys know, the market is moving sideways, so expect this again tomorrow. Let me check the news real quick before I get off. So the news for tomorrow, we actually have some high impact news pre-market, or actually not pre-market, right on open. So we have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. This is inflation news, global composite, and global services PMI. So we have a bunch of inflation news tomorrow at 6:45. We'll see if we get an entry in 4 news. If not, we'll try to get one right after. And then we have more news at 7 o'clock over here, new home sales and new home sales month over month. I swear we just had this last week, but I guess they're posting it again. Like I thought we had new home sales last week, but whatever, it is what it is. We'll take it when it comes up. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you.